I don't really remember. I think this been added recently, relatively recently. But no, I will. Look, although in the industry, I was an operation maintenance manager at one, part of my career, and this is why they got me to teach operation management. I teach it better than the person who's, in my view, than the person who was designated a chair to this, and who happened to be one of my assistants in one of the books in one chapter. But I think since they're emphasizing modern quality management, then you need to look at that particular slide. If I want to give the marks, I start defining quality, talk about the importance of quality to operation management, because this is the context, Then talk about the different processes of quality, talk about the different tools of quality, talk about the basically, how can quality help you in achieving your objectives, etc. So it's just worded nicely, and these people will be, to be the market. Because it's not reinventing the wheel. It is, whatever you have in your slides. Forecasting, weather forecasting. Okay, let's go for it. Weather no, sorry, this isn't weather. So what kind of forecasting do you think this is? What are we forecasting? We are forecasting demand. We are forecasting demand for the products which we are producing. So we're forecasting what the market will be needing, in July, August, September, October, November, because this is future. Forecasting is about future, right? So let's see. And there is one question in the exam. Did you say forecasting? Did you say that?
Yeah.
Forecasting
forecasting question? Yes, calculation. So very good. We'll concentrate only on the calculation, but we need to know what's forecasting first. Yeah? So the ability to make accurate forecasts of demand and accurate assessment of an organization capacity to meet that demand is critical to effective operation management. So effective operation management is about matching production with demand. Yeah. So I know that the market needs certain quantity, and I run my machines on my production line to produce that. So they are matching. If they're matching, that's good, because this is like just in time. Yeah. Forecasts are predictions of future events, so it is a future thing. Whereas capacity, so what's the difference between forecasting and capacity planning? Capacity is defined as the maximum rate output of the facility. Capacity, actually, when you say that my machine can produce up to 100, maybe 2,000 pieces a day, or 10 pieces per hour, that's the capacity of your machine. If you think about it, yes, there is demand, which we can forecast, but we need to run machines that are capable of matching this demand. Based on the capacity of your machinery, you will be able to decide how many shifts to run, for how much time, how many machines, how many production lines, or for how many shifts, and so on. And this takes us to another break-even, which is called time break-even. Break-even says how much time do we need to break even. Do you understand?
Working hours?
Yes. 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 Yeah, to produce the Q was 200. How much time do we need? Sometimes it takes us 2 weeks. Yeah? So you need to be aware of. For your own purpose, we don't talk too much about time. There is one question related to time, which is the Little's law. Okay, and I'll show you this in a minute. You'll be happy because these two calculations coming together in a minute. Hierarchy of decisions for this forecasting problems can often be very difficult. Fine, forecasting methods. If you are forecasting, actually this is in the exam, not the whole thing, but you will be asked as part of one question, you'll be asked about what methods of demand forecasting you can use. So you could say qualitative forecasting, time series forecasting, moving average forecasting, exponential smoothing forecasting, and casual forecasting. Okay? Then they will ask you, so then maybe they'll ask you for 2 or 3, I don't know how many, or maybe you'll have it in the multiple choice question also. It's very tempting, where you have bullet points always, you know, think multiple choice, right? So the most important one for you, if you have for the calculation question, is the moving average. Moving average. Predicted demand, even if the variance is large, facility strategy requires a forecast of demand. So it's normal, it's justified, it is valid that you need to demand to forecast demand. What? What's that? Coming. There's a calculation question. So I say prepare yourself because we're going to show it to you in the calculation. Specifically, the moving average we will be using to show you how to do the calculation. Okay, demand management, what is the optimum? Okay, facility strategy for predicted demand. Forget all this stuff, cost, forget all this. This is all not very important. Economies of scale. Yeah, but just want to say here, you know what's economies of scale? Economies of scale, you know, sometimes economies of scale means that if you are producing small quantities, it will cost you more than if you produce bigger quantities per unit. Because the fixed cost will be spread over a bigger number. Yes, do you understand? So sometimes it is wise, you know, to wait and have orders, you know, gathered, you know, so you have a bigger quantity, and then the fixed cost, because the fixed cost will apply to all, it is constant, then it will be spread over a bigger number of items. Do you understand me?
Yes.
Then you'll find when you do this, you'll find that the unit rate, the unit cost will be lower per unit for when you do economies of scale, i.e. bigger amounts than small amounts. And this continues. So the bigger amount you produce, the lower cost unit it is, until you reach a point, then you peak and you come down. Then you start seeing that beyond certain point, the cost will start increasing again. Okay? So if an operation manager smartly to lower cost per unit, so for the strategy, for the cost leadership strategy, sometimes you produce big amounts, mass production. Yeah, so you don't just produce small amounts, because small amounts means that fixed cost will be carried every time you do them. But if you have big amount, fixed cost once will be applied to all. So this is a strategy sometimes, well, this is a practice sometimes used smartly by operation managers to reduce the cost per unit, so you can apply the strategy of cost management leadership. So you can sell it for a lower price.
Sometimes you know, advertisement.
What?
Advertisement. So you get the higher.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't make, some ask them to make only a business card. They will not accept from you less than 1,000. When you ask them why,
because they use one because they to create the template.
Design.
Yes, it's done once. Yeah, so if you use it for thousands or for 10, it will the value the total price will be divided on the number. So if the number is not big, then the cost will be high.
Sometimes they tell you the machines are programmed into.
Yeah. Yes, that's true. It's called economies of scale. But beyond this point, you know, you reach a point where after this, then there become other variables come to the equation. You know, معطيات أخرى. You know, where's the lady with معطيات? You know, so other معطيات will come and contribute to actually start increasing the cost. You know, like when you start to have much bigger quantity, then you need transportation, additional people, more power, and then again you'll see that the costs start to increase. And what they call this is economies of scale. So this is for the first part, that the unit cost will reduce rapidly as you increase the quantity of production until that point. Beyond it, it becomes this economies of scale, i.e. increasing of the unit cost as a result of excess of the increase of the product. Aggregate planning is concerned with matching supply and demand. of output over medium range. We're talking up to 12 months. You know, usually they have up to 12 months, you know, and they try to look at, you know, this is the supply and this is the demand, yeah? So we need to match them, all right? The aim of aggregate planning is to set overall outputs levels in the near and medium future in the face of fluctuating and uncertain demand. So it is about facing, you know, the fluctuation in the market. Capacity cushion options. You have 3 options as an operation manager. Trying not to run out, building it to average forecast, maximize utilization. And this takes us to a calculation question. This is Little's law. Little's law is what we see now. It says Little's law relates number of items in the system to arrival time or arrival rate and length of time in the system. This might be confusing, so listen to me and try to understand what we're talking about. We're talking about, we say one product, yeah, this item, it takes 10 minutes to produce this item. So this is the, you know, it goes, the raw material goes here. There will be different processing. No, leave this here. So raw material will go there, different processing by different machinery. It takes 10 minutes, then this thing will be out, right? So if we can say that one product, we know how much time one product is needed for one product to be produced, then we can know how many, all the quantity Q to produce quantity Q. Remember the Q which we're talking about? Yeah? So this 1,000 which we were talking about, the 200, then we need to know how much time it will need. Then we can say, then we need to find the piece of information we need is how much time each piece needs for production. So we can say that it needs 1 hour. If I have 1,000 of those, 1,000 times 1 hour.
Yeah.
This will give you the total. So it is a logical thing. Forget this confusing law. You know, you can remember it as it is. But if you are given the time for producing one item and asked to find out the total time, then you multiply the quantity by the time for one item. We have an example, you know, and this is what is in the exam. I think the exact thing as it is. That's the question. Question says, I want you to concentrate here. Question says, by the way, this is not in the notes, so I think this is possibly an exam question. And I don't want you to discuss with anybody, to mention to anybody that I share this with you. For whatever reason, but they thought this is Little's, sorry, this is Little's law. The only question on Little's law which I will have it. And you want to take pictures now. As if I told you that, you're going to put me in trouble.
Yeah. No, don't worry. Please. It's only in our group.
No, but
it's only in our group because finally we have all WhatsApp group. So
yeah, but if this is circulated, I'll be in big trouble. So we don't need to do that.
No worries.
I worry because I had a conflict at the university. Students, yes, they are very innocent and nice, and they talk to me nicely. But then they go to Fatima and they say, Dr. Faiz has given us this. Or, yeah, it happened. Anyways.
وراك رجال.
Initially.
If anyone will share WhatsApp, you should mention that should be with us. I mentioned that if someone will share in WhatsApp, you should mention that in the group. That is secret, yeah.
It's not secret, but it's
this is the whole group.
We're not supposed to, Okay, let me just explain. Okay, passengers at Abu Dhabi airport or say Kuwait airport have been complaining that the security scanning process is taking too long. You know, security scanning, these devices where you will be going through this machine and if you have metals or anything, you will be scanned. It takes too long, they say, with waits up to 1 hour being commonplace. So some people, passengers complaining that they wait sometimes up to 1 hour. This had led some passengers missing their flights even though they have arrived early at the airport. An analysis of the security scanning process is carried out and it is found that throughout a 24-hour working day, the average waiting time for passengers is only 10 minutes. So on average, it's only 10 minutes. However, at peak times, the waiting times are indeed as much as 60 minutes. So it can go up to 60 minutes. Right? A decision is made to make the waiting time for any passenger at any time of the day or night a maximum of 20 minutes. So this management decision say, no passenger should be should wait for more than 20 minutes. There are 5 scanners available, and each scanner can process a passenger in 1 minute and 30 seconds. With each scanner requiring full team of 4 staff operators. So the scanner needs 4 people to operate it. Yeah. That clear?
Okay.
Okay, and each person, remember this bottle? Yeah, how much time it needs to process? I said,
10 minutes.
If you know one bottle, how much time
10 minutes.
needs processing, you will know how much oil, quantity. Similarly with the scanner, how much one passenger, 1 minute and 30 seconds. This is the time of scanning or processing one passenger, right? So you want to know how much is the processing for all passengers, okay? So we'll continue.
Multiply by 5.
A decision is made, okay, sorry. In times a peak demand, there might be a queue of 100 passengers awaiting security screening. So خلينا نشوف المعطيات please. المعطيات أول معطيات 10 minutes. Waiting time. No, sorry.
Number of scanners.
The waiting time per person is
1 minute, 1 minute.
1.5. The scanning time, the processing time. Sorry. The regulation, the airport's regulation waiting time.
20 minutes.
طيب خليك معي. ما هي مش 20 minutes. It is what they want to achieve is that.
Okay.
This is their regulation. They say nobody should wait more than 20 minutes. You'll find the question now when you read it say, do you think they will be able to enforce this or not? Is it achievable or not? Yeah. So what we need, basically the inputs to this is first to say, the scanning time for one person, and the equivalent of the time processing of one item, is 1 minute and 30 seconds, i.e. 90 seconds, yeah? 1 minute and 30 seconds is 90 seconds, right? Now, it says also that the number of scanners is 5. It says also the number of operators per scanner is 4. It also says that the number of passengers at peak hour is 100. So now we're trying to solve the problem. What are they asking us for? It says A, first question, A, showing you reasoning, discuss whether it is possible for the airport to keep the promise of passengers never waiting for more than 20 minutes. You know what I mean? Yeah, sorry lady, you know what I mean? Yeah. So they are asking us whether if the airport can actually implement this 20 minutes or not. This is what they wanted to implement. But is it enforceable? Is it doable? So you need to do some calculation to indicate to you that it is less than 20 minutes or more than 20 minutes. So we'll take this case. Okay, we have 100 passengers. Look at this. This is the answer. You have 100 passengers. These 100 passengers will be spread evenly on 5 scanners. So 100 divide 5. On each scanner, you will have 20 people. Very good. Now, what is the waiting time as per Little's law for the last passenger? The last passenger, we want to see the guy who will be waiting more than anybody else is the last person, yeah?
19.
Number 20. So what you do?
20 times 1,000.
How much, if you are number 20 in the line, how much time do you have to wait?
1.5 minutes for each passenger.
1.5 minute times?
For each passenger.
By
By
90.
One, 9 seconds.
Can you calculate this? 19 plus
30 minutes, I will wait.
Oh, no, tell me, it's 19 plus 20.
28.
Some people argue that it's 19 not 20 because it is the people before you. You have
Oh,
to
yeah,
wait.
okay.
So it is 20 minus 1 times
28.
1 times 90 seconds. So it's what?
28.
20 minus
28 minutes?
And a half.
28 minutes and a half. Then the answer to question A is what?
Yes.
No.
No,
No.
it is
Because
not.
it's 20 minutes.
It is
20 minutes. Okay.
Yeah, so it's they say no, they cannot keep their promise
We cannot keep promise.
because number 20 will be waiting for 28
Number 20 and number 18 as well.
18.
يلا تفضل حبيبي على تفضل.
Oh, yeah, more than one person.
حل يا حبيبي.
No, one case is enough. You need to validate, just tell us whether they can fulfill their promise or not.
Hmm.
Is that clear? So this is an exam question. Littles.
احنا بعد sorry after we divide the 105 so we find out that 20 passenger in each scanner.
Sorry, مش فاهم لأنه في ناس.
آخر شيء طلعنا بنتيجة إنه ل 20 passenger in each scanner.
20 بعدين 100 أو في ناس 100 باسنجر توزعوا على هاي صار 20
بالضبط.
طيب
بعديها
بدك تحسب بما انه كل واحد بياخذ وقت سكان بياخذ 1 minute and a half. So for the guy who's at the end of the line, how much does he need to wait? 19 قدام 19 واحد. 19 times 1.5 minutes. And this you can apply to the production line, huh? You can say that the passenger is a bottle of water, huh?
بس معلش شلون طلع الرقم؟ أنا الرقم ما حسبته بالحسبة، حسبته حساب
19 بلس نص ال 19 يا أسيل 19 1.5 minutes so 19 plus 1.5 so 19 plus 8.5 plus 9.5 19 plus 9.5 is 28.5
طب لحظة
No, 19 multiplied ولا
أكثر واحد هو قدام 16 واحد ما يصير واحد قدام.
one person at a time please خلينا نسأل one time تفضل بلاش side chats please خلينا عشان كلنا نفهم what did you want to say sir?
What I'm saying is, the last person, okay, he has 19% ahead of him.
Right.
Okay. So in this case, the time of each person will be
1.5
1.5. Okay. So 19 multiplied by
1.5.
1.5.
طيب.
So in this case, 28.5.
What said why
You said plus.
Who said?
No, it's not plus.
No, another type of calculation. He's giving.
No, I'm doing the mathematics. I'm saying 1.5 if you want to do it. If you don't know how to multiply it, 1 is 19 and half is 9.5.
Ah, yeah.
So 9.5 is correspond to the half. So 9.5 and 19 is 29.5. 28.5. Okay, is this clear? So the first answer is no, they cannot honor or fulfill that promise. Question B, if 18 operators report for work on one shift, now 18 operators, yeah? Showing your reasoning again, what will be the likely effect on passenger waiting times? Now we have 18. Then if you have 18 operators and you know that each operator needs each scanner needs 4 operators. So I have 5 scanners. 5 times 4 is 20. So I need 20 operators. If only 18 turn up, so one scanner will not be operational. Clear? So basically now you have 4 scanners, not 5 scanners. But you have 100 people. So the line will be 100 divided 4, not divided 5.
25.
So effectively now you have lines of 25 people, right? And to calculate the waiting, sorry, what's going on there?
He's thinking if you wish to write it.
نكتبها هون.
لا بدك تصور بس.
لا ما هذا ما فيهاش تصوير هذا الحكي ما انت حكيته.
الفيديو
بس ما هو المشكله بدل ما تكتبوا listen to me اعتقد majority are ماشيين في كام. One passenger needs 1.5 minutes to scan. هلا إذا if you have 20 passengers, you multiply the number by the number of passengers. So what's the big deal?
بعديها.
شو هي بعديها؟ اللي بعديها إنه في عندك 18 operator, 18 operators. if you know that each scanner needs 4 operators, and حتى لو كتبتهم, it doesn't matter. Each scanner needs 4 operators. We had 5 scanners. The initial scenario was to have 5 scanners. So 5 scanners need how many operators? 5 times 4. 20. But only 18 people turned up. So effectively, I can run only 4 scanners. حلو. Now I have 4 scanners. How many passengers? حبيبي شو 100 say 100. طيب هو خطوة خطوة أنا عشان ها؟ Sorry, what was that?
100 divided by 4, so it would be 25
Yes,
passengers.
very good. So 100 is divided by 25 by 4. صار عندك 4 scanners مش 5. أول لما قسمتهم على 5 أعطوك 20 lines of 20 passengers. هلا you have lines of 25 passengers. نفس اللي عملناه أول. آخر واحد بيستنى 24 times 1.5. يعني 36 دقيقة. صح؟ صح الكلام؟ فين النص بتاعك؟
مظبوط حلو.
كده؟ يلا ماشي. Okay. So question is it says if 18 operators whatever, what will be the likely effect on passengers waiting times? So what will be the effect? It will be more delay. Yeah? More waiting. Actually, it will be, the last one will suffer 36. Yani how many minutes? Maybe you can say 36 minus 28 and a half. This is additional delay resulting from not operating the 5th scanner. Now we go to C. C, a new type of wide-bodied aircraft increasing passenger number is introduced. So now we're talking about an aeroplane. An aeroplane which has much bigger number of passengers, 150. Now peak is 150. So what? Simple mathematics, 150 you divide them by 5. Yes, sir.
In this case, I would increase the scanners to 15 scanners. So in this
حلو.
the last passenger.
بس ما حدا ما قرأنا السؤال لسه. بدك إذا قرأت وخلصت جواب وخلي الشباب يعرفوا. C says, section C, a new type of wide-bodied aircraft increasing passenger numbers is introduced, which has likely effect of increasing queues to 150. So the number will move from 100 to 150. What response would you recommend to management and why? So you need to recommend to management, how to cope with this additional number. Tell me, what recommendations would you have?
Increase the scanners.
Increase the scanners, yes.
To 15 scanners. So in this case, on each scanner would be 10 passengers. The last passenger will have to wait about 13.5 minutes.
Really?
I will increase the scanner.
You increase them one scanner?
No, I will increase them to reach the 15 scanner. Okay? So
15 scanners?
15 scanners, yeah.
This costs money. You think about their budgets, maybe they don't have budget for this. So it's not easy to buy scanners.
The passengers miss their flight. It's not impossible.
You need to balance, yeah?
Maybe they don't have a space.
But yes, you could be right. If we have the money, we'll do it. But I'd say that, management is really about always draw a balance between what is delivering what you need with the minimum cost.
What I did the calculation. If I increase the scanners to reach 10 scanners,
right.
Okay, there will still be a delay for the last passenger. Because if we made 10 scanners, okay, 150 passenger will be divided on 10 scanners. The answer will be 15.
So what you meant?
The last passenger will have to wait 21 minutes.
I am very close. بس بدي أسألك سؤال. السؤال هو what would you recommend to management? I recommend that you increase the number of scanners to 15, right? That's good, valid.
Or increase the operators.
Or لا.
لا
أصلا لما أنت يصير عندك 15 scanners حيصير عدد الاوبريتورز 15 times 4 يعني هتوظف كمان 40 واحد. It's a very costly solution. There's another possibility. You need to compare this to go and look for new technology. Scanners which are much faster in processing, maybe which would take only half a minute. Huh? Isn't this what we talk about production? Operation? No, both. You can talk about both. You can say either increase scanners or reduce the time, the scanning time or processing time by having state-of-the-art new technology or new scanners.
Or stop scanning people.
So, but this is only just an idea. Ha ha. You like my multimedia? I drew this for you. You like it? And actually, what I did also, but I didn't show you yet. Very sneakily, I changed the color. No photos. This is how we would answer it, yeah? Just so you look at it without taking pictures. So 5 scanners available. Scanners process time is 1.5 minutes. This is the givings, lady. 1 minute and 30 seconds. So I have actually, I do what you told me. I had at the beginning all the givings, yeah? That's right? You okay? So I have them listed there. And it is wise to do that, you know? All the things which you've been given, you should put them there. 5 scanners available. Scanners process time 1.5 minutes, which means 9 seconds. Each scanner has 4 operators. At peak, 100 passengers. So I have all the details given to me there. Then what I do, then I start dividing 100 by 5 equals 20 passengers, and test, passenger all 19 times 90 divide 60, etc. So this is done. Okay, so we're done with this little slow. If you have it in the exam, I'm sure you'll pray for me. Yes? Now we go to time of facility decisions. 2 opposing strategies can be used or adopted. Preempt the competition or wait and see. Some operation managers, use the first one, which is about McDonald's, for example. They go and produce even before the demand is actuated. So you produce and you assume that the demand, there will be demand, or you can wait and see. And so you wait when there is orders, then you start to produce. Okay, so just strategies, for. This is another important question in the exam. That's the other calculation. Yeah. Production forecasting. Production forecasting will include 2 things, ladies and gentlemen. A question which is probably made of 2 parts. The first part, I told you a short while ago about demand forecasting, that it is done in different ways. Yeah, you remember them? You remember there's a slide telling you that demand forecasting can be done by the following methods. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I told you one of them is important. Which one? Moving one.
The average.
No view.
Moving average. I thought moving to Canada. Sorry? Moving average is the important, what you need. You need to know the other ones to list them, because you might be asked to list a number of, methods that can be used for demand forecasting, all right? But for the actual exercise, I strongly recommend that you use the moving average 5. It's called